Hi everybody, and well, just check out that weather. It's about, I think it's probably about 12 degrees now, but look at that glorious sunshine. Here we are in a fantastic place. I'm out on BumbleBlade. I'm doing a video today on something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and that is if you did follow the restoration, or is it really restoration? It's more getting it back on the road, isn't it? Full restoration would mean everything, paint, everything, but recommissioning, let's just say. So if you did follow, and you see that obviously it was stored for many years, and I got it for about 400 quid, and spent almost a year, I would say, sodding around, getting it back on the road and learning a lot in the process, because it's the first time I'd ever done anything like that. Ooh. One thing I kept meaning to do was a video on, well, how much did it cost? I mean, I think these, we'll have a look, but this age, sort of condition, it's still tatty, you remember? I didn't do the paint or the frame. I think they're about $2,500 possibly. So how much did I spend? So what we're going to do is going to go for a little ride and then park up somewhere. I brought my computer with me in my backpack, and we'll run through everything. I mean everything. I'm going to be looking at everything, including the WD-40 or the penetrant I spent, because that's part of it. That's stuff I wouldn't have had to buy if I hadn't needed to unfreeze shit, let's just say. So pop along with me for a little ride, find somewhere nice on this glorious day, and we'll see just how much I spent on BumbleBlade. Right, here we go. I really should get a second mic, shouldn't I? So you can hear the engine, because obviously my stock quiet exhaust doesn't really pick up through the cameras here. But anyway, that's another topic for another time. Just hope we don't hit any dodgy potholes. So before we stop, but regardless of costs, the refurb, the recommissioning of BumbleBlade has been one of the most amazing experiences of my life. When it comes to motorbikes, I mean, Okay, one of the most amazing motorbike experiences of my life, just because apart from just the standard change of oil, change of light bulb, that sort of stuff, I'd never ever gone deep into what makes a bike tick. And of course this I did. So, please check out the 20 odd part playlist. I'll post it above, below, whatever. I've made friends, with some really good friends for life, I think. And I know everything about this bike. There's no way you can learn as much as I did in coming up to a year to restore it, to recommission it, because we all might know the theory, and if you're in there doing it, sticking your fingers in carbs, getting rust out of a rusty petrol tank, cleaning dead things out of brake calipers, then you don't really know it. You do know the theory, but you don't know it. And that's something that's really improved my confidence when it comes to, Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance. And I don't know, I think you fall in love with the bike more, but that's just me. I mean, I know people that just do it for the fun, and then it's the next project. Me, I just don't think I could ever part with BumbleBlade, just because of the quality time we spent together. Anyway, I'm risking here of rambling on a bit now, but I can't see me selling BumbleBlade. Right, there we go. Ugh. A lot of cars here today. I often come here, but it's normally empty. But of course, it's a good trekking route around here. But yeah, there she is, BumbleBlade. I mean, it is what we'd call a recommissioning, mainly because it's still tatty here. There's been nothing really done to the paintwork. The fairing's still scratched down there. Done some touch-up stuff, cleaned it up. cleaned up the exhaust, which was manky. So yeah, and there's still stuff that needs to be done on that front mudguard. So it's not a full restoration where the frame is, you know, they strip it down to nothing. I can't do that. I mean, you saw I was having to borrow a friend's garage, friend's girlfriend's garage actually. So anyway, I'm waffling. Let's go over there, find a place to sit down, and have a look, see what it costs. Wait, did. See you in a bit. Right, so I found somewhere to sit down. Got my computer out, ready to go. I'll probably put up on the screen the you know what it's you know the totals and that. But anyway, let's start off straight away, and we'll start off with the first thing I bought with the throttle cables, the pull and pull. They were £23.14. Then we bought some carburetor pilot slow idle jets, and they were £30.94. I then got a clutch cable, and that was £39.55. Then I got that little sub filter, the air sub filter, the one that goes out of the back of the carburetors. That was actually £49.98, and then the actual air filter itself, new air filter, was £61.80. Now, do we include this? I then bought a manual, a Haynes manual, second-hand one for 16 quid. Then, when starting around trying to get rust out of the petrol tank, I initially spent £37.99 on 30% strength vinegar from B&Q. Can't use fish and chip vinegar, by the way. And then, £6.43 on WD-40. Now, why have I included WD-40? Because, I wouldn't have had to buy it without it, and I got through tons of the stuff. I then had a bit of a mistake when relining the tank, and I bought some acetone to get out some of the crap that was still in there, and that was £74.97. More vinegar, 30% again, £25.99. Contact cleaner, £14.30. I then bought a rear light because that one that was on it was just so badly faded, and that was 24 quid. I bought some second-hand calipers from somebody from the CBR Facebook page for 40 quid, which, to tell you the truth, I didn't really use. They weren't that good, but anyway, bought them, but I did use some parts for that when I rebuilt my ones. Another £16.40 on WD-40 penetrant. Then we were on to the brakes, and I spent £12.19 on some dot 4 brake fluid. Then at Mixed Sermons, getting the forks done, that was 135 quid. That was everything, labour and the fork seals. Various clips and fairing screws at £9.98, £6.85. I then bought an indicator relay because I was having problems with the indicators, and that was 47 quid. Now, yeah, spent more on that, but that's we'll talk about that another time. Bits and pieces for the tank bolts and that sort of thing from Fowler's, £24.46. I ended up then buying a complete rear then the carb rubbers. That was £72.19. The famous water joint that exploded, ended up using one from, I think it was a Hornet 600, because luckily it's the same. That was from Fowler's, that was £72.19. A new petcock, £59. Mirrors from Wiimoto, the patent mirrors, £79. Exhaust gaskets, £26.24. Various bolts and other bits and pieces, £15.99. Exhaust studs, I had to do the exhaust studs and the nuts, that was £90.89. Can you believe that? 90 quid for exhaust studs and nuts. The master cylinder rebuild kit, that was £35.34. Needed new tyres, 197 quid. Then, of course, I needed a new shock, so I decided to go for the Hagen as opposed to rebuild the one, which I'm going to do a second, and I spent £402 on that. Filter, oil and plugs, 68 quid. Regulator rectifier, £59, and I ended up boiling the battery, which you'll see in one of the other videos. So another £29 for a second battery. And then I got an exhaust mounting stud into cylinder head. I can't remember that is, 43 quid. And an exhaust fixing nut to cylinder head stud. I think it needed another one. That's £3.08. Exhaust port gasket, £4.30. And then a carburetor rebuild kit, 134 quid for the carbs. I was having lots of problems with the carbs. Handle pipe, top bridge, not sure what that is, £16.10. A sticker, the caution label, that was £14.59. And then I needed a switch, which turned out to be the problem with the indicators. So I didn't need to buy that second relay, which means actually I get rid of that one there. Okay, front brake lever, £15, 52. Paddock stands, £48.98, £15.99 for a front mudguard bracket. Mounts, plastic fairing kits, that was £9.98. Screen bolt kit, stainless steel, 6 bolts for Honda CBR900, £6.85. And then I bought a complete fairing fastener kit for £59 now. Plus, what did I pay for BumbleBlade? 400 quid. And that brings us to a total of, ready for it? 2,837.91 pence. So nearly £3,000. There were some other bits and pieces here and there, and there we're looking, so it's probably just topped over the £3,000. So yeah, was it worth it financially? I could have probably got one for 2.5 that was probably ready for it, already MOT'd and ready to go, but I wouldn't have enjoyed it. I wouldn't have met the people I met. I wouldn't have learned what I had to learn. I would definitely lose out if I was to sell it tomorrow. I think I could probably only get about 2.5 for it. I'll have a look online, see what they're going for, but that's, last time I looked, that's about the sort of going price for that blade in that sort of condition if it was fully MOT'd in the state it is in now. So yeah, right, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's get back on the road. Let's go for another ride, because it's worth it when you ride it. It's worth every penny. Right, see you in a bit.
Righty-ho, so back on the road. You want to stick around, see me enjoy BumbleBlade. Now, as I said, probably about £3,000 I spent, and I think, yeah, technically if I was to sell this tomorrow, I'd be at a bit of a loss. But the experience, priceless. The friendship, I mean, you know, like Bumble Steve, you know, friend for life, absolutely, you know, that was all through the forums, the CBR900 forums on Facebook, especially the CBR900 restoration forum. It's amazing the help I got, people, you know, literally precious information. What an experience. I could probably buy a mint one for what I paid, what I spent on this, but it just wouldn't have been the same. And like I said, BumbleBlade has become part of the family. I don't think I could ever sell BumbleBlade. I mean, you never know in the future, but I just couldn't even think about it. So anyway, check out the videos of me bumbling my way through BumbleBlade as a playlist. It's not as polished as some of these new restoration videos, but we just got a camera out and we filmed, me and my mate Pete, what we did. Couldn't have done it without Pete, by the way, so Pete, you're a rock star. But it was a learning experience for us both. It was absolutely fantastic. Anyway, thanks for coming along to this video, especially if you got to the end. It'd be great if you could like and subscribe. And well, see you on the road with BumbleBlade in another video. Bye! 'Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to lay. I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Traction control, we don't need no stinking traction control.